And so when we heard that some enterprising characters had managed to spy on the famous Skull and Bones Society, we couldn't resist. Here's ABC's Dan Harris.
The videotape provides a grainy glimpse into what appear to be the initiation rituals of a secret society that's been around since 1832, whose members have gone on to be leaders of Wall Street and the White House, the Senate and the Supreme Court.
They're sort of trying to scare the initiates, make them, disorient them, frighten them.
New York Observer investigative reporter Ron Rosenbaum accompanied a team of Yale students who shot these pictures 9 days ago. Rosenbaum's curiosity about Skull and Bones was permanently piqued when, as a classmate of George W. Bush, he lived right next to the Tomb, the group's heavily fortified home. From their perch, Rosenbaum and his cohorts taped the Tomb's courtyard. What they captured, they say, was initiates, known as neophytes, being forced to kiss a skull, then members performing a mock killing.
When will you learn? Wow. Great son of all mortal wisdom, Owl of Bohemia, we beseech thee, grant us thy counsel.
Our social lives, going to the football game or the PTA, a little bit different than your average world leader or corporation chief. No, in their spare time, they worship Moloch and do mock human sacrifices. We just need to get used to that and accept them as our leaders. Think about it. If your neighbor was engaging in mock human sacrifices to Moloch, the demon idol that was worshipped all over the Mediterranean and the Middle East, would you let that neighbor walk your dog or house sit, or how about babysit your children, or be in control of the nuclear launch codes? Well, let me give you a revelation. They are in control of the national deficit, of Congress, of your bank account, of your local police department, and they see you as cattle, as their slaves.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
A fraud? No, it wasn't a fraud, but I'll be glad to talk to you if you'll shut up and let me talk. A fraud? Let me tell you something. I'll tell you a couple of stories about fraud. The Bohemian Club. As you say, the Bohemian Club? That's where all those rich Republicans go up and stand naked against redwood trees, right? I've never been to the Bohemian Club, but you ought to go. It'd be good for you. Get some fresh air.
Destruction of the Twin Towers, one must first understand the reality of the two different species growing together like twins. The parable of the wheat and the weeds in the book of Matthew illustrates the two different species growing together. The destruction of the Twin Towers was Satan's declaration that the twins were gone, and that the two had become one, as evidenced by the building of the One World Trade Center. The One World Trade Center's architecture represented an upside-down seed joined together with the right-side-up seed, thus forming the new race in one new body, thus representing the forming of the completed human race. Through the destruction of the Twin Towers and the tearing down of what once existed, the building of the One World Trade Center would represent Satan's recreation of a temple in which he would sit as the king, the commingling of the serpent seed with the seed of the woman.
The Book of Enoch also states that the Watchers began to mix animals and humans together. Quote, "They started to sin against birds, beasts, reptiles, fish, and then to devour one another's bodies, even drinking the blood. It was then the earth laid accusation against these lawless ones."
Plans to allow scientists to create embryos that are part human and part animal are set for approval by the official regulator in Britain. These hybrid embryos are seen by the country's leading scientists as a vital step in the search for cures for diseases such as Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. It's a highly controversial procedure and is banned in some European countries. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh has the story.
This embryo is part mouse, part cow. In a few months, this Newcastle lab is hoping to create a human-cow hybrid. This is highly complex science, the creation of cytoplasmic hybrids, known as cybrid embryos. The starting point is a cow's egg, which is cut open by a laser. The DNA is sucked out. The next step is to take a human cell, perhaps from a patient with Parkinson's disease, and inject it into the egg. Now this is the crucial point at which an embryo is created, because
not only are they trying to rediscover Atlantis, but in doing so, they are merely attempting to fulfill the ancient hope which has been at work since the days of Adam and Eve, the earthly rule of the Antichrist. The truth certainly seems stranger than fiction.
When I looked into Escape from New York with Kurt Russell, and he flies his hand glider towards there and lands on top of the Twin Towers, and then you watch the movie Stargate and you realize he's the first person, the first human representative through the Stargate, which opens up into these pyramids on a distant planet.
The holy place of the tabernacle of the Most High. Be still and know that I am God. I will be exalted among the nations, I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us.
So, y'all better focus fucking Obama, okay?
And our Lord and Savior, Barack Obama. Barack Obama!
Are you the one? Are you the one? But I do believe today I have the answer to Ms. Pittman's question.
We have a black Muslim in the White House. Now that's shit.
Found the answer. It is the same question that our nation is asking.
This is a whole new world. I think that I've been saying before, you can divide history in BB, before Barack, AB, after Barack.
This election has never been about me. nations raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted. The Lord of hosts is with us.
Long before man roamed these lands, there was a war in heaven. The victors declared themselves gods, while the vanquished were renamed Titans, and forever imprisoned within the bowels of Mount Tartarus.
The Herculean king, Hyperion, has declared war on all of humanity.
Gods.
If there is one human who could lead them against Hyperion, it would be Theseus. I have faith in you. Prove me right.
I don't know if I can do what Zeus asks of me, but you can see the future.
I cannot change the future. You can.
I have moved every precious stone your people worship upon. My mark will be left on this world forever. No!
Droid DNA augmentation initiated. Neural speeds increasing to 4G LTE. Brain upgrading to a quad-core processor. Predictive intelligence with Google Now complete.
Introducing Droid DNA by HTC. It's not an upgrade to your phone, it's an upgrade to yourself.
Notice that it's going in his right arm, it's an injection, and then the camera makes sure to pan right into his forehead. And that original word in Revelation 13 about in the right hand, it actually translates to arm. So his right arm, forehead, and it goes in, and something foreign into the body is corrupting the image. It's changing the DNA.
Welcome to a company where cutting-edge technology meets human innovation. Armadyne, we're building a better world, and we're building it with you. Armadyne is embarking on a monumental vision of the future. The most ambitious project ever undertaken by mankind begins now. Currently, we're seeking experienced individuals in the following fields: zero-G welders, megastructure engineers, quantum networkers, experts in zero-G coupling, and multi-generational planning. If you see yourself in our future, take the first step and apply today. Armadyne, taking mankind into the future.
One sound and you die. It's impossible. You're human.
My name is Jared Howe. I haven't spoken to another human being in 2 years.
Melanie, Strider. This is the beginning of a love story. And that might not seem like a big deal, except for one thing. This is the future, and humanity is all but extinct. We have been invaded by another species who erase our minds to take our bodies. But there are a few of us left who still fight back.
Human bodies take a lot of getting used to. They're not like the others we have inhabited. Their emotions are powerful,